You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment. What is it? Well, they knew what they were doing, and they thought they could get away with it.
Is this the end of the road for Mayor Tiffany Henyard? With scandals mounting and the walls of justice closing in, it seems the super mayor of Dolton, Illinois, may be facing her ultimate downfall. Not only is she at risk of losing her position, but her freedom could also be in jeopardy. As if things couldn't get worse, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot has now entered the fray, publicly humiliating Henyard and exposing shocking new details. The revelations suggest that the damage Henyard has caused to her own city is far worse than anyone previously imagined. Buckle up. This saga is just getting started, and it's about to get a lot messier.
For a year now, we've been reporting on questionable spending by a South suburban politician named Tiffany Henyard. But we only knew half the story because...
Let's dive into the latest bombshells. The story begins with none other than Lori Lightfoot. Yes, the same Lori Lightfoot who recently stepped away from Chicago's political spotlight. She's now been called upon to lead an investigation into Tiffany Henyard's questionable activities. If you thought Lightfoot was heading for a quiet post-political life, think again. She's back, and this time, she's on a mission to clean up Dolton's dirty laundry. And trust me, what she's uncovering is far from pretty.
Yeah, he's not employed by us. So you have got just this gyration.
Lightfoot's investigation has uncovered a series of alarming revelations about Henyard's conduct. Imagine a town where the mayor treats public funds as her personal piggy bank, splurging on extravagant trips, racking up tens of thousands in debt, and pushing the town to the brink of bankruptcy. That's exactly what's happened in Dolton under Henyard's leadership. Lightfoot's report paints a damning picture. The village's finances are in complete disarray, with a staggering deficit spiraling out of control and leaving residents on the verge of financial ruin.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
And it gets worse. Henyard didn't just spend recklessly, she did so with a brazen sense of impunity. According to Lightfoot's findings, Henyard treated the village's credit card like monopoly money, once racking up over $40,000 on Amazon in a single day. But what were these purchases for? No one knows, because the receipts and explanations have conveniently gone missing.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
It's as if Henyard believed she was untouchable and that no one would dare question her. But now, with Lightfoot digging in every corner, it's clear her reign of unchecked power is crumbling. And it's not just about credit card bills and missing receipts. Henyard's financial mismanagement has plunged the village deeper and deeper into debt. Remember when Dolton had a budget surplus? Those days are long gone. Lightfoot's investigation revealed that in just a few short years, Henyard has turned a surplus into a staggering $365 million deficit. That's right, Dolton is broke, and its residents are paying the price. Taxes are through the roof, services are being slashed, and the once promising future of the town is now drowning in red ink. But the money trail doesn't stop there. Henyard's connections to shady figures are also under scrutiny. Not only is a federal investigation closing in on Henyard, but it also targets her inner circle, including Dolton's deputy police chief, Lise Lacy. A close ally of Henyard, Lacy is now facing a multi-count indictment for bankruptcy fraud and perjury.
Wait a minute. I don't believe that is legally correct. That's just not the way municipalities operate, right?
Rumors swirling around Dolton suggest that Lacy is just the tip of the iceberg. It's been hinted that he, along with other officials, may have been complicit in Henyard's schemes, helping her siphon public funds into her own pockets while ignoring the financial collapse of the village.
One way that the government always does it is to go and investigate people around her, and that's what they're doing here.
As if things couldn't get worse, there's also Henyard's so-called charity, Tiffany Henyard Cares. With a name like that, you'd expect it to be focused on supporting the community, right? Wrong. According to recent reports, the charity was little more than a front for money laundering. In fact, the Illinois Attorney General has already shut it down, citing a complete lack of transparency and accountability. It turns out Henyard was using the charity to funnel taxpayer money into her personal projects, all while posing as a community leader. It's almost like she was scripting her own reality show, how to scam a town and get away with it. Meanwhile, the turmoil within Dolton's local government is escalating. Henyard has been clashing with her own trustees, who have finally had enough of her antics. In a series of heated meetings, the trustees voted to reinstate Lightfoot's investigation, despite Henyard's desperate efforts to shut it down. And the residents? They're not staying silent. They've been showing up to meetings, furious, demanding answers and accountability. They want to know where all the money has gone, and many are openly calling for Henyard's resignation. One resident even warned her, "You're not going to understand until they come and put cuffs on you." A clear nod to the looming FBI investigation.
Wrong is wrong, and there's a time to hold people responsible and accountable for their actions.
So, what's next for Tiffany Henyard? Rumors are swirling, and some believe she could be removed from office any day now, especially with the federal investigation rapidly gaining momentum. If the allegations of corruption and fraud are proven true, Henyard could be facing serious jail time. Public officials convicted of embezzling funds or engaging in fraud have received hefty sentences. Just look at former Detroit Mayor Quayne Kilpatrick, who was sentenced to 28 years in federal prison for racketeering and bribery. If Henyard's case follows a similar path, she could be looking at decades behind bars. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. This story is far from over. Despite her mounting scandals, Henyard isn't going down without a fight. She has made it clear she believes this is all part of a smear campaign, claiming she's being targeted because of her gender and race. In one defiant moment, she even referred to a special town meeting as clickbait, accusing her critics of trying to undermine her leadership. However, at this point, it seems like the only person undermining Henyard is Henyard herself.
Sometimes we get invoices, but those invoices lead to more questions, and sometimes we don't get answers to those questions. And so it's not about clickbait, it's about just making sure the right thing is being done.
Henyard's inner circle seems to be turning against her. Rumors are swirling that some of her closest allies are now cooperating with federal investigators, trying to save themselves by throwing her under the bus. This includes high-profile figures within Dolton's police department, who, according to sources, are revealing Henyard's misdeeds in exchange for leniency. It's a classic tale of a political machine crumbling from within, as those who once supported her now scramble to distance themselves from the sinking ship. And the scandal keeps getting worse. Remember the $67,000 Henyard and her entourage spent on first-class flights and luxury hotels? It turns out those trips weren't just for leisure. They were part of a calculated effort to secure political favors and elevate her public image. But here's the kicker. Those extravagant expenses were all billed to the taxpayers. So while Henyard was enjoying the high life in Las Vegas and New York, it was her constituents footing the bill. No wonder the town is broke.
I'm sure you guys had an awesome time on the backs of taxpayers, but what do we gain from any of these trips? We gain nothing.
As the investigation into Henyard's administration deepens, more dirt is being uncovered. Reports have surfaced that she hired a convicted offender with a history of inappropriate conduct as a code enforcement officer, employed personal photographers on the taxpayer's dime, and even proposed slashing the mayor's salary to just $25,000 a year if she loses the next election in an attempt to discourage challengers. It's almost as if Henyard is daring the town to remove her, confident in her ability to manipulate the system to stay in power. But the cracks are beginning to show. Even her once loyal supporters are starting to question her actions. Trustee Carmen Carlisle, who had previously been one of Henyard's staunchest allies, recently broke her silence, accusing the mayor of unethical and predatory behavior. Carlisle's statement was scathing. For the past 2 years, Henyard has manipulated employees, vendors, and residents, using her position to increase her influence, all while projecting a false image of success. Funded by the hardworking taxpayers of Thornton Township and the village of Dolton. This brutal takedown from someone who was once firmly in Henyard's corner speaks volumes about the discontent brewing within Dolton's leadership. Meanwhile, the federal subpoenas keep rolling in. The FBI is now requesting detailed records of Henyard's financial transactions, including payments made to her charity, campaign fund, and personal businesses. The scope of the investigation is expanding, and it's clear the feds are building a comprehensive case against her. Though Henyard continues to deny any wrongdoing, the mounting evidence suggests otherwise. So, what does the future hold for Tiffany Henyard? She's removed from office, and that possibility is looking more likely by the day. The next question is, who will clean up the mess she's left behind? Dolton is in dire financial straits, and restoring stability will take a monumental effort. But that's a problem for another day. Right now, all eyes are on Henyard as the legal noose tightens, and the specter of prison looms larger with each passing day.
What I think is interesting about this case, this story, is you can be highly legal and unethical at the same time.
And let's not forget the residents of Dolton, who are left to pick up the pieces. Their town has been driven to the brink of bankruptcy by a mayor who was supposed to protect their interests. Many are struggling to pay their bills, facing skyrocketing taxes, and dealing with a town government that seems more focused on covering its own tracks than on serving its citizens. For these residents, the fallout from Henyard's actions will be felt long after she is gone.
Mayor Henyard is in a situation where she feels like she's under attack, because she is.
In the end, this saga serves as a stark reminder of what can happen when power is abused and accountability is discarded. Tiffany Henyard's story is one of ambition gone awry, of a leader who believed she could escape the consequences of her actions. As the investigation continues to unfold, one thing is clear: she won't be able to evade the repercussions for much longer. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over, and who knows what twists and turns lie ahead. So, what do you think? Is Tiffany Henyard the worst mayor in America, or is she merely the latest victim of a political witch hunt? What's next for Dolton? Can the town recover from this mess, or is the damage irreparable? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next video.